In today's video, the people at Laney sent over some of their new amplifiers to check out. So we get to borrow them and check them out and see what they're like. This is the new Foundry series. It's two identical amplifiers, although they look considerably different, especially when you look at the size, but that have some added features if you go with the bigger one and some stripped down to just what you probably need if you go to the top one. This is the lead top and the dual top. First thing you have to mention that's important is they're pretty light. This one is about a little bit less feeling than a gallon of milk. This one's also very light, but you're gonna get two independent channel controls. In other words, on your channels, you're gonna get, each one's gonna have their own gain and volume. They both this time still have to share the EQ, but they've added digital reverb, so that's a nice feature. You still get the switch that lets you take it from bright, flat to dark. On the back, you have the similar controls. You have a headphone out, you have auxiliary in, you have the effects loop, and on this model, you can foot switch the channel and the boost. You have the output for the speaker that is also able to go at 60 watts down to 1 watt. This one also has a direct out with a 412 and a 112 cabinet simulation, or you can turn that cabinet simulation off. And then you also have a ground lift. The dual top is sitting in at $429, while the lead top is sitting in at $299. So starting with the dual top, I want to start with the clean channel, and I'm running it into a 112 Vintage 30 cabinet with a SM57 mic'd up on it. I think the reverb sounds fantastic. Usually with solid state, I think a lot of people kind of think of the clean channel as being very sterile and kind of like bright. This doesn't have the full tube warmth, but there's a lot of like compression and spank to it. I mean, definitely pull this off for anything. Really cool. Now, before we go any further, I want to show you this boost control. So that is really cool. So definitely the blues and the rock guys are definitely going to like being able to just, that one thing, just that one foot switchable boost and clean isn't more than enough. So let me go ahead and turn that boost off. Let's go back to the clean. Okay, so there's your clean. Let's go ahead and switch it over. Now you have this three-way switch on the clean. You see you get a little bit of break up there. And it's a little bit, so if you hit that boost now, I mean, that's pretty kick-ass. Okay, then you kick the then you kick the boost off, and you get that kind of subtle. It's clean, but there's grit right at the end. Okay, so we'll go to down position on this switch. Now you get a little bit more, a little grit. But I also lost a lot of low end frequency. Okay, go ahead and hit the boost on that. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and return it back to clean. And let's go ahead and switch over to the lead channel. And there's an LED to letting you know on this one, on this version, which channel you're on, which is a cool feature. Really nice, cleans up. The drive, let's go ahead and crank the gain some more. Now I want to go ahead and switch the bright switch. Yeah, it's definitely gonna, now you're taking that yourself out of the rock category, you're into that 80s metal. Let's go ahead and go back to the flat. Sorry, flat. And more gain. This is max gain. Okay, so it does the thing that a lot of amplifiers do when you go to max gain. To my ears, it's kind of flubby now. There's no definition. I'm like mushing up and I'm not hearing. Yeah, I'm not digging that at all. I mean, it's fine. I like it for high gain. I like it to be a little tighter. But let's try something. Let's go ahead and back that gain off. Okay, so right there, it feels tighter to me. But here's a little fun secret that a ton of players use for years, which is to take a high gain amp, not all the way to the point of high gain, and then go ahead and hit a boost. So let's do that. Let's turn the boost on. Great, let's go ahead and switch this now. This is the 1 watt. Yeah. The lead top is the same as the dual top in the way it sounds, and it has essentially the same feature set, just minus a bunch of things. So again, it's not like they're made up to be different amplifiers. All right, let's check out the lead top. So what you have is a 2-channel. However, a couple things to notice, they have to share the same EQ, same gain, and volume control. And there's a switch to take you from clean to lead channel, and then there's a switch on the lead channel that lets you go from bright to flat to dark. So it's kind of just like a generic EQ switch, but it works really good. So essentially, this is something you can use as a pedal platform, absolutely clean sounding, or if you need an overdrive setting, you can go ahead and set up that way too. The overdrive is not foot switchable, but there is a boost control that is foot switchable. So you can turn on and off this boost that they put in a red knob right here. There is not a foot switch included, but you can use any single button foot switch, plug it in and use that boost. And that boost is really cool, which we'll show you in a little bit. Couple things we talked about for the bedroom player. There's a switch that takes it down to 1 watt. So that's really nice for late night play. Then you have a headphone out, which has simulated speaker sound. You have an auxiliary in, so you can run in your backing tracks or what have you. You have an effects loop. And then of course, like I said, you have the control for the foot switch. So that is the lead top in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and start with the clean channel. And the clean on this is exactly like this. And what's nice is you can still use the boost, which is a cool feature, especially on this clean. Listen to this. Still doing that thing, especially kick it down to 1 watt, late night practice. That's a lot of fun. Now, of course, because you're kind of sharing the gain and the volume for this channel, let's take the clean channel. This is still the clean channel, but I have the gain cranked all the way to max, and I have the boost on. Let's go ahead and switch back to 60 watts. Yeah, a lot of rock to have. But even with that boost on, let's go ahead and switch to the overdrive channel. This really starts at a great foundation. You have a really good clean channel. This is definitely a very clean, very usable channel. And I wish the small one had reverb. I would actually tell you right now, out of the two, I'd probably just pick the small one because it's a little great, and 60 watts. It's the perfect size, 60 watts. Without the reverb, it's still great. Like I said, if you're using a pedal board, this is pretty much the way to go. And then what's nice about that is also, it's great if you pedal board dies, you still have 2 channels. So the question is this loud enough to gig with? Sure. I mean, if you're miking up the cabinet, pretty much anything's loud enough to gig with. But to be heard, to hear yourself on stage, you would hear yourself on stage. The looks, I think they nailed. I love the lights. I love what they did. You don't have to worry about tubes going out. You don't have to worry about the delicacies that come with tube amps. This is more durable as a technology. It's just going to take a lot more abuse and less variables with those tubes being gone. And then sound-wise, I mean, it's there. I mean, if you heard it, I thought it sounded fantastic. So that's my first take. That's my first impressions of these new amps. I'm really impressed by them. This is my actual first Laney amp I've ever played. I've never played a Laney amp before. As always, I want to thank you all for spending some time with me today. And till the next time, know your gear.